Elon Musk, a name that now echoes in every corner of technology, commerce, and exploration. A man who dares to launch rockets, challenge entire automotive industries, and push humanity toward a multi-planetary destiny. It's easy to look at his present-day achievements: SpaceX landings, Tesla gigafactories, Neuralink's brain-machine interfaces, and assume he was always bound for greatness. But what if we told you that the path began in a time and place seemingly ill-suited for such audacious dreams? To understand the Musk of today, we must journey back decades, to a young boy lost in books, bullied by peers, and forging a mindset in the shadows of Pretoria, South Africa. A childhood in an unforgiving land. Born on June 28, 1971, Elon Reeve Musk entered a world defined by division and complexity. South Africa under apartheid was not a nurturing cradle for global entrepreneurs. Racial tensions and strict social hierarchies dominated public life. For a quiet, intellectually hungry child, it wasn't just the political backdrop that posed challenges. It was the sense of isolation he felt even in his own environment. Musk's parents, Elon Musk and May Musk, were intelligent, accomplished individuals in their own right. Errol's background in electromechanical engineering and May's career in modeling and nutrition offered a home environment where competence and achievement were valued. Yet Musk's early family life was far from idyllic. Rumors and interviews hint at a somewhat strained relationship with his father, intellectually rich but emotionally difficult. These early family dynamics, while not entirely unique, likely shaped Musk's resilience. Entrepreneurs take note. Many who break molds come from households where comfort and complacency are in short supply. It's in discomfort that the seeds of urgent ambition often sprout. The boy who chose books over the playground. From a tender age, Musk immersed himself in literature. While other kids chased balls and role-played imaginary adventures in backyards, Elon found solace and excitement between pages. By age 9, he had reportedly devoured an entire encyclopedia. He read science fiction novels, works by Asimov, Heinlein, and other visionaries who dared to imagine humanity's place among the stars. It wasn't escapism for escapism's sake, it was training. He was absorbing frameworks for thinking big, for questioning the status quo, and for conceiving solutions beyond the narrow horizon of everyday life. For young entrepreneurs, there's a profound lesson here. Before Musk disrupted industries, he disrupted his own mind, feeding it with data, stories, and knowledge that most adults never bother to acquire. Vision begins as a mental construct. The more mental raw material you gather, be it from books, mentors, or real-world observations, the richer your conceptual toolkit becomes. Bullying, alienation, and the crucible of character school years were unkind. Musk, socially awkward and intensely focused on intellectual pursuits, became a target for bullies. He's recalled episodes of harsh treatment that left him bruised and breathing difficulty, once even hospitalized after a particularly brutal encounter. Imagine the irony. The man who would later earn global respect for his courage in tackling grand challenges first had to survive the cruelty of playground torment. These experiences were painful, but they also instilled in him a critical entrepreneurial trait: endurance. Every setback was a test, every taunt a reminder that the world does not hand out success willingly. To stand apart, you must withstand pressure. This points to a fundamental entrepreneurial truth. The path to transforming industries or building billion-dollar companies rarely starts in comfort. It's often forged in hardship, where you learn to internalize criticism, adapt under stress, and emerge tougher and more determined. Musk's childhood taught him that pleasing everyone was impossible. Instead, he had to sharpen his mind, trust his vision, and prepare for a future where consensus would not guide his steps. A computer at age 10, a game by 12. By the time he was 10, Musk's interests had moved beyond books into the emerging world of computing. Early personal computers were clunky, slow, and mysterious. But Musk saw possibilities where others saw complexity. He learned basic programming from a manual intended for older students and took to it like a fish to water. By age 12, he created Blaster, a simple space-themed video game, and sold it for about $500 to a magazine. In the early 1980s, $500 was no small sum for a kid's homemade code. It proved a vital point. The abstract knowledge he absorbed from books could become tangible value. For those building careers now, this moment is illustrative. Action turns theory into currency. Musk didn't wait for permission or a perfect opportunity. He monetized his hobby and in doing so, validated his potential. Great entrepreneurs often say, start small, but start. Early achievements, no matter how modest, can be a spark that ignites bigger fires. Leaving home, the strategic emigration. By his late teens, Musk recognized that South Africa was not the launch pad for his cosmic ambitions. He needed a freer environment, a bigger stage. At 17, he left for Canada, leveraging his mother's Canadian lineage to secure entry. With limited money and no established network waiting, this was a calculated gamble. He took small jobs, sometimes shoveling grain in grain bins or cutting logs. It was humble work for someone dreaming of global innovation, but these experiences built humility and adaptability. Real leadership often arises in places where glamour is absent. After enrolling at Queen's University in Ontario, Musk positioned himself for an even more significant leap, the United States. Transferring to the University of Pennsylvania, he earned dual degrees in physics and economics. Physics provided a first principles way of thinking, understanding root causes and fundamental truths, while economics offered insights into how markets function and how value is created and captured. This combination, while unusual, would become his secret weapon. Entrepreneurs should note, blending hard science with economic reasoning can yield a powerful lens to identify opportunities where others see obstacles. The early 90s, the internet as uncharted territory. In the early 1990s, the internet was a strange frontier. Few saw its potential to reshape commerce and communication. Established businesses dismissed it as a fad. Musk, however, sensed a tectonic shift beneath the surface. During summer internships in Silicon Valley, he soaked in the energy of a nascent tech scene. He listened, learned, and connected dots others ignored. Entrepreneurs, take heed. Staying ahead often means recognizing patterns early, trusting your instincts about emerging technologies, and acting before others wake up. As he finished at Penn, Musk considered pursuing a PhD at Stanford in applied physics. He arrived on campus in 1995, but the gravity of the internet boom tugged at him. Instead of settling into academic life, he made a bold choice. After just 2 days, he dropped out. To outsiders, this might have seemed reckless. But Musk understood that timing was everything. The internet revolution wouldn't wait for him to earn another degree. In entrepreneurship, opportunity cost is real. Sometimes the credential you chase pales in comparison to the door swinging open right now. Zip 2, the first true test. Armed with conviction and a small amount of capital, Musk co-founded Zip2 in 1995 with his brother Kimball. Zip2 aimed to guide newspapers into the digital age by providing online city guides and business directories. This was uncharted territory. Most newspapers still viewed the internet as a curiosity, not a necessity. Musk worked relentlessly. 20-hour days sleeping on the office floor weren't uncommon. He wasn't just a founder, he was the chief coder, salesman, and janitor if needed. Great startups often spring from total commitment. If you're not willing to dedicate yourself entirely in the early stages, your competitors might be, and they'll outrun you. But Zip2's path was riddled with uncertainty. Could Musk convince established media players to trust a couple of young guys who preached the gospel of the internet? For months, skepticism reigned. Deals were slow, money burned away, and the line between success and failure blurred. Suspense thickened. Would Zip2 die unheralded or break through to become a stepping stone toward Musk's larger dreams? By 1999, the internet's potential was undeniable, and established companies scrambled to catch up. Compaq, seeking digital footholds, acquired Zip2 for $307 million. Musk personally pocketed around $22 million. In that instant, the bullied kid from Pretoria had turned lines of code and a relentless work ethic into millions. Yet Musk's reaction was telling. He didn't retire or buy a private island. Instead, he immediately began plotting his next move. This is where we first glimpse what would become the hallmark of Elon Musk. The inability to rest on his laurels, the compulsion to tackle bigger challenges, no matter how improbable. Building a legacy from scratch. At this juncture, late 1990s to early 2000s, we see the early contours of what made Elon Musk into the figure the world knows today. Was it pure intellect? Partly. Was it stubborn perseverance? Undoubtedly. Was it the pain of childhood isolation transmuted into a desire to prove something to himself and the world? Almost certainly. And then there was the guiding principle, a conviction that technology could and should solve humanity's greatest challenges. Many entrepreneurs chase money. Musk's trajectory suggests he was chasing something more profound: impact, legacy, the thrill of bending reality to his will. This phase of his life offers critical lessons for young entrepreneurs. Embrace discomfort. Musk's background was not tailor-made for success. He grappled with bullies, distant family relationships, and cultural barriers. Instead of shrinking, he learned to thrive in adversity. Entrepreneurs must understand that comfort rarely leads to breakthroughs. Discomfort often indicates you're pushing boundaries. Think in fundamentals. His study of physics wasn't a random choice. It trained him to strip problems down to first principles. Whether building rockets or electric cars, this mindset would later allow him to challenge assumptions others took for granted. In business, avoid copying models blindly. Instead, break problems into their core components and rebuild solutions from the ground up. Seize the window of opportunity. Dropping out of a prestigious PhD program might seem rash, but Musk knew timing mattered. He recognized the internet's explosion wouldn't wait for academic completion. For anyone entering fast-moving markets, action sometimes trumps meticulous planning. Better to launch and iterate than to watch opportunities pass you by. Resilience over pride. Musk didn't cling to ego when Zip2 faced skepticism. He adapted, pitched, negotiated, and learned from rejections. Pride is a fragile anchor in entrepreneurship. The ability to adjust course under pressure differentiates those who survive from those who fade away. A taste of success, a hunger for more. With Zip2 sold, Musk stood at a crossroads. He had money and a nascent reputation, but he also had bigger dreams. He was no longer just a talented outsider. He was an insider with capital, credibility, and insights into the next big frontiers of technology. If the first 2 decades of his life were about preparation and proving he could win on a small stage, the next would test whether he could scale that ambition to reshape finance, automotive production, energy infrastructure, and ultimately, space travel itself. Even now, we sense a dramatic tension. Would he overreach? Would the same intensity that fueled Zip2 become a liability in bigger, more complex ventures? The world had changed since his childhood. He no longer needed to fight bullies on the playground, but he would soon grapple with boardroom politics, skeptical investors, entrenched competitors, and global crises. The stakes were about to escalate exponentially. Glimpses of the fuel that drives him. While we'll explore in later episodes the pivotal moments that fully reveal what made Elon Musk truly Elon Musk, we can already see flickers of that inner fuel. A vision beyond profit. Early on, Musk was drawn not just to lucrative opportunities, but to world-changing technologies. This suggests an internal motivator beyond wealth. He wanted to tip the scales of human progress. A relentless work ethic. From coding in his youth to sleeping in the office during Zip2's early days, Musk's standard for personal effort was set extraordinarily high. He wouldn't ask others to do what he wouldn't do himself. An appetite for risk. Emigrating twice, to Canada, then the US. Dropping out of Stanford, launching a startup at the dawn of the internet, Musk repeatedly chose uncertain paths. Entrepreneurs should note that calculated risk-taking is often the engine of innovation. Had he remained comfortable, his story would have ended before it began. Unyielding confidence, tempered by adaptability. There's a paradox at work. Musk trusted his vision against all odds, yet he constantly learned, pivoted, and refined his tactics. This blend of conviction and flexibility is rare and invaluable. Setting the stage for what comes next. As we conclude this first episode, we leave Elon Musk at the threshold of something much bigger. He has proven he can succeed in the wild west of early internet commerce, but his real ambitions lie elsewhere. In the coming episodes, we will see him dive headlong into digital finance with X.com and PayPal, flirt with ruin as he invests in automotive and aerospace endeavors, and repeatedly gamble his fortune and reputation on ideas that most considered laughable until he made them real. Stay tuned, for in the next chapter we'll witness Musk entering the battlefield of online finance, laying the foundation for PayPal. We'll uncover how near-total failure would dog his steps, and how only by surviving impossible odds would he forge the confidence to tackle even grander challenges. We'll also see him begin to articulate more clearly what truly motivates him, the fuel that keeps him going when sanity would suggest surrender. This evolving understanding of his personal why is the key to understanding how Elon Musk became a singular force, a figure who stirs admiration and controversy, but never indifference. The lessons from his youth and first business venture are clear and as relevant to us now as they were to him then. Vision requires knowledge, success demands resilience, and breakthroughs are earned by those willing to embrace discomfort and uncertainty. For entrepreneurs charting their own paths, Musk's early years are a beacon, reminding us that extraordinary futures often have humble and uncertain beginnings.